What is up, YouTube? Today we're back with a discussion video. So today in this vid, we're gonna talk about relationships. Basically, we're gonna tell y'all how to have and keep a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
See you in 3, 2.
Today we're discussing how brand new that's gonna affect the relationship. Like all different types of aspects are gonna affect the relationship. But cheating, I feel cheating. First of all, cheating is crazy, number one, because I feel you shouldn't get into a relationship if you're gonna involve with cheating. Like I feel cheating is just like a virus to relationships. I feel cheating is something harmful, but depending on how the people in the relationship feel, I don't believe that would be the ending of a relationship. It could definitely be, but if there's means to work it out, I believe it could be done. And I believe cheating is not an absolute end. Me personally, I don't like that at all.
Like you said, I feel like it shouldn't get there, but I also don't necessarily think it's an end, but it really depends on your relationship. Because if your relationship isn't strong enough to withdraw it, and your relationship wasn't built off of a strong foundation, I feel like y'all should just, even before it even gets to the cheating, I feel like y'all should just leave. Like, instead of having to do that. Because if you're not happy and the person you're with is not happy, that's a waste of time. Y'all just wasting time with each other then.
That's a big thing too, communication. Communication's a part of any relationship. And I believe communication could prevent infidelity. Communication will prevent all of that, and communication is the same aspect that will get you through all of that. So communication is on both sides of the field.
Because like what most people don't understand is like love is something you have to work at. The love is there, but you have to work at it to keep it strong and keep it alive.
That's a fact. Like love is a constant effort. Like love is something that you constantly gotta put effort into. Like when I say I love this woman, and me just telling her that
like
is an effort.
He does a lot to show it. Like, and it's very mutual and it's very equal. Like, I wouldn't say we do more than the other does. We both are very equal in our relationship.
And that doesn't mean material things or anything like that. Like, love is not material. Like, you're supposed to love people and not things. Love is not material.
It's just from the actions you show. Like, the simplest thing could make someone smile. Like, even a text saying good morning or I miss you. Just something so simple could make someone's day.
And I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not even the best at that. Like me personally, like I sit there,
horrible text.
Get like, yo, my love is real. If I say I love you, I mean that. My love is real. And I'm just not like, I'm a communicator, but like when you're with me in person and everything like that, don't get me wrong, I'll send the texts and all of that stuff. I'll still send the texts out, and you know, it's very random that I'll send a yo I miss you or like you know, I'll send you a heart and all of that stuff, with a little blowing the emoji with the kissy heart and everything like that, blowing a bigger heart to you and everything like that, out of random. But
and it's just stuff like that that could show someone that you love them. Like, it's
exactly.
Ow.
That's why I do it, cause it's just randomly to remind somebody, like sending a simple hieroglyphic, oh my fault, emoji, actually sits there and, you know, could brighten somebody's day and just remind somebody of the love. Something as simple as that could remind somebody of something much bigger, which is the love that you have for them.
So, the second relationship problem that could also, you know, it could be a problem, it could not be, but it would have to be sexual problems. Like, if the person, I don't know, have you ever had that?
Like, what you
Sexual
mean?
problem?
Like, if sexual connection between the two?
I mean, it could
Or
be,
like actual, okay.
I think it's more actual, the fact of having sex. Because maybe the person has
not having
problems or something like that.
Okay. I think that could be a problem too, of course.
I don't think it's a relationship ender.
Yeah, I a lot of these things, I'm a very optimistic person. So like a lot of these things I don't feel are relationship enders. But a lot of them affect your relationship. And I think the same way they affect it, you can use that E and put it into the effort into resolving it. So, alright, say a person is impotent. Say the man is impotent. Say the man, you know, suffers from ED, erectile dysfunction and everything like that, like, you know, medical problems. Or say he just has low libido or something like that. I believe that could have an effect on the relationship because the drive is not there or the drive is too low, and, you know, that could lead to the significant other feeling not wanted, or, you know, thoughts could arise in their head like, oh, maybe this person's not attracted to me or something like that. That I'm aware of. At the same time too, I know you're about to say something. At the same time too, I know it's not the end, because the same way you got those problems is not the same way you get out of those problems. That's a fact. You got to change something to get out of those problems which you have arrived to. And I would suggest starting with your diet. Like, diet could definitely help strengthen all of those characters, even libido. Like, you could really physically and mentally, emotionally be attracted to somebody, but your Johnson ain't doing what he's supposed to do it. Yo, this is a topic that's not really discussed, but it's something that is an actual growing problem among society. And it's not only just guys, it's women too. Like, women could suffer from low libido. Women could, you know,
Low sex
drive, all of that stuff. Like, it's different types of things that lead up to that. Like stress. Stress is a big factor that leads up to all of that.
One thing that you didn't speak on was also would be the fact yet. One thing you did not speak on yet was the fact that maybe even, you know, sometimes people stop being attracted to their partners for a reason, which it happens a lot. Like, maybe the love has kind of, you know, dimmed, the light for it has dimmed, or they're just doing certain things that just doesn't do what it used to do for you, or they're not doing anything really at all. Because it could be many reasons why you're not attracted to this person anymore the way you once were. And I feel like with that, I feel like if something is causing, something that cannot be fixed in your relationship is causing that, I feel like it's better to just go than to just be there and the person and y'all both not happy.
Yeah, that's a big fact. Mutual happiness is a big benefactor in any relationship.
And also, don't ever force anyone to be with you. Like, if that person doesn't want to be with you and they want to go, don't sit up there, beg them. Don't try to make them feel bad for their decision on leaving. If that person doesn't want to be with you, somebody else will.
If you gotta love them, you gotta make sure You love them all the way. Ain't no half-assing. You gotta sit there. If you love someone and you truly want to see them happy, if they want to leave, and you love that person, you gotta love them enough to want to see them happy. Because if being with you makes them unhappy, you truly don't love that person, because you want that person to feel that love. And even though you want to, that person may not get the love that you have, that you're trying to show them, this and that, you gotta sit there and just remember, this is love. It's not only about myself, but it's about this other being, this other entity that you're introducing into your love. Like, yeah, you want to show your love, but you also want them to be loved and actually feel love and actually feel good about being loved. Like, you gotta have love for someone, but just need that space. You could be loved from a distance, pretty much.
Another reason why relationships don't end up lasting and don't end up working could also be jealousy and insecurities.
That's a big thing.
And I feel like a lot of those insecurities stem from the past. And I feel like a lot of insecurities and jealousy.
Our breath is kicking, y'all. I'm just endearing over this.
My breath smell like Oreos. Don't even.
Nah.
My breath
they
smell
really
like
do.
Double stuffed Oreos.
They really do smell like Oreos. She was over here trying to attack me with it and everything.
Shut up. So, like, the jealousy, I feel like a lot of relationships end something great ended because of jealousy and insecurity. I'm not saying for the people, if your spouse or your significant other did cheat on you and did cause those insecurities and jealousy, that's something they brought onto themselves, I feel.
They introduced that into the relationship.
Exactly, because you didn't if you didn't come into the relationship with those problems and those insecurities and jealousy, then that's what they induced. That's not your fault. But I feel like with the past, if you're coming into new relationships with insecurity and jealousy and checking people's phones and answering their phones and watching their page all day on Instagram or Facebook, I feel like you should leave the past where it's at. Because if all your exes cheating on you before, that's what they did. That was their mistake. They messed up with you. They lost out. Now you're with someone else who could potentially treat you better than anyone else has ever. Someone who will love you completely and fully and be there for you. So I feel like don't ruin a good thing because of what your past dudes did.
Exactly. That's another thing too.
Or
past
women.
Traumas.
Past females. Dudes.
Past females and males and everything like that. Another thing I want to bring up too, I'm going to get back to that subject real quick. Another thing I want to bring up too is, like, it's just like our personal relationship. Yeah, this is a couples page, but it's still our personal relationship. And just talking about these types of topics helps us get through what we need to get through in our relationship. Like, I feel like this is helping us overcome obstacles. Without them obstacles even physically being there, like, I feel like this is gonna keep us from even getting to those obstacles. This is a healthy way of communicating within a relationship that we're sharing with y'all that's gonna benefit those that are within the relationship. For example, which is Hollywood, G and Z. We in this relationship, and communication is a big part of our relationship. A big part of our relationship. That's one of the aspects, one of the keys to success that's gonna get us where we need to be. And past traumas is something that we had to communicate about before we even got into a relationship. Because one thing I believe in is allowing yourself time to heal. Because I believe people are too quick to jump into relationships. Like, people sit there, they go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, all within the same year, without giving themselves time to heal, without giving themselves time to recalibrate and find themselves again. Like, you need that time to find yourself. You need that time to recalibrate, because you are you. How you gonna be with somebody if you don't know you? How you gonna win when you ain't right within? You gotta be right within to win. How you gonna win when you ain't right within? That's something that I believe is a big aspect in a relationship. Giving yourself time to heal and letting your partner know, like, yo, listen, I've been through some things. We all been through some things. We not perfect. We all been through some things. You gotta let your partner know when you're comfortable, when you're okay and ready. Like, you don't gotta sit there just coming to the table. Don't scare them away. Just be like, oh shit. As soon as I open the door, yo, I got this, that, and that. You gonna scare them away. You gotta sit there. First off, ask them if they have the mental capacity to deal with the load that you're trying to unload on them. If you're trying to vent and everything like that, see if they're the type of person that, you know, wants to help you vent or wants to listen to you. That also help you see if that's the right partner for you. Because I don't believe you could be a partner if you're not really trying to, like, you at the moment you might not be trying to hear something, but if you truly care about that person, you're going to allow that person to vent when they're ready, and when y'all mutually find the convenient time to vent, to communicate, and, you know, let one another know of things that you probably been through in the past that you feel like talking about, that you quite aren't too settled on, and you just want some closure.
I feel like hurt people hurt people.
I like that.
So if you're not, that's why you need, like he said, you need that time to heal. Because if you're still hurt from what happened to you, you're bound to hurt someone else.
You definitely are. You don't want to be out here playing with nobody else's child. Like, don't do that, because you wouldn't want nobody playing with your child like that. Like, you know, sit there and just be the best version of yourself. Like, real recognize real, give respect where respect due, and treat people how you want to be treated. If you want to sit there, if you expect this healthy, vibrant, blissful, bountiful relationship, but you can't give yourself in that same effort, you're a taker, and you're just taking, and you're taking away from somebody else. Don't be so much of a taker. A relationship is mutual, and both of y'all are giving, not only materially, but giving water of life to each other to help each other grow.
Another reason why relationships fail could also be from abuse. Now, this could be verbal, physical, emotional,
mental.
It could be any type of abuse.
All types of abuse.
So,
like talking down on somebody. My fault.
Like, to me, that's not a deal breaker. You need to go. Because that person isn't right.
Oh, that's a deal breaker.
That's not a deal breaker.
It's not?
It's not at all.
Alright, what you mean by deal breaker? So
okay.
We can sit there, so everybody be on the same page, so we all know
what
we talking.
A deal breaker is basically a deal breaker is when when someone is doing a certain thing that you have to think in your mind, could the relationship go on, or is this the end? Now, some things I feel are deal breakers, and some things are definitely not. Abuse is nothing to stand for. Like, it's nothing to keep. Like, I know plenty of women out there who are going through abuse and have been through abuse. It's nothing to stand for. That person who's abusing you and hurting you and that type of way, they do not love you. They don't. That's not love. They're trying, they telling you they love you to control you in order for you to stay. And you're in love with them, so you're willing to go through whatever they're doing to you. No. Anyway, it's a no-go. It's just, you better just leave.
Run! Get up out of there. Don't stand for none of that. Go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it. If you're gonna be tolerated, you don't belong there. If you're gonna be celebrated, you belong there. But you also gotta watch out for celebration too, because same way you could be celebrated, celebration could be used as a form of abuse too. You could sit there, you could try to praise somebody so much, sit there, as soon as they come through the door, you just flood them with gifts and all of that stuff. Sit there, flood them with I love yous, flood them with all of that.
Another, like,
just to get them to stay, like,
the littlest sign,
or not leave.
The littlest signs of some, like, the abuse is starting. It's just like, just them telling you what and what not to wear. Like, you can't wear certain things anymore. They're talking down to you, belittling you. Like that, those are all signs of abuse.
That's verbal abuse right there. When you sitting there talking down on somebody, like, when you sit there and break somebody's spirit down to the point where you bend it to your own will and the person loses touch with themselves, that's abuse. That's not, I don't know how anybody could see that as love, because that's not love. Like, you can't sit there and just really bash somebody and expect that person to turn around and love you the way you want to be loved, the way you expect to be loved. That's not gonna work. That's not the case. That's just gonna hurt you and them and drag along the process. That's unhealthy and that's toxic. You need to remove yourself from situations like that. That's just something that you don't want to be in. Who wants to be in a situation that doesn't promote positive vibes, that doesn't build you up to be the best version of yourself that you could be? Like, your potential is limitless. And for somebody to put a cap on that, that shows a lot about themselves, and that shows a lot about you for dealing with that. If you're gonna allow somebody to put a cap on your happiness, then you might wanna take a step back and walk over to a mirror, find something, and look at yourself and really ask yourself, is this who I am? Is this what I'm going to choose to deal with? Is this how I want to live my life? You gotta sit there, you gotta ask yourself that. Another reason
why people do not last is excessive reliance on social media, which also means the person, every time y'all get in an argument, every time something happens with y'all, they go on Facebook or Instagram and write about it. And no,
the internet is not your friend, people.
I advise you to, like, do not go to social media to vent, because people are gonna give you all types of answers, and at the end of the day, they're not in your relationship. It's just you and that person. They're not in your relationship. Like, I don't even advise for people to go talk to their friends really about their relationship, because at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense for you to go talk to your friend about whatever happened in the relationship. Now they hate your boyfriend, and at the end of the day, you just gonna go back to him or her or whoever. I feel like they don't understand your relationship and the dynamic of it the way you do. And no matter how much you explain it or whatever, they'll never get it because they're not in it.
That's something that exists out here. Like, you could really go to somebody, like, not even just a stranger. Like, that's the worst thing. Don't go unloading all of this that's going on in your personal life to strangers. That's
not only that, people can use the information that you're putting out on Facebook or Instagram against you. All day. Like, I just don't advise to put all your business on Facebook. Even not only for relationships, for anything in your life. Because you could be going out to get a job and all that, and they can go look up your Facebook, your Instagram. They can find it.
Oh, it's called a social credit report, people.
Yes, and they could go and they could look at all your posts, and in 2012 you was making racist tweets, and in 2015 you was up here posting pictures of you getting high with a gun and all that. Don't nobody want to hire you now, because they done seen you a racist weed smoker who got a gun. They don't want to hire you now.
They gonna be scared to hire you. They don't want you coming through their establishment, their professional place of business.
So, like, just be careful what you post on Facebook. Not everything is for social media.
It's really not. Like, you sit there, you could, alright, say, for example, not even a stranger. Say you talking to somebody who you're friends with from your social media platform or something like that. You probably don't know that person physically, or you're probably not that much friends with them physically. But say you just met somebody that you're cool with on social media, or something like that, or one of your friends that you're cool with. You sit there, the moment you choose not to go to your significant other and voice what you should be voicing to your significant other, to those people, they could sit there, they could bend what they're saying to you so that it works in their favor. Like, that person, you don't know that person's intention. That person can be like, you could come to that person, yo, I just feel this way about the person I'm with. I just feel this way about the person I'm with. And that person can be like, all right, fine, cool, I understand. You feel that way about the person you're dealing with? Yeah, matter of fact, you should feel that way. Yeah, forget that person. Yeah, throw that person to the side. Yo, nah, you don't need that person. Yeah, nah, yeah, you need this, you need that. You need, come with me. Come over here. I got you. You gotta watch out for stuff like that. Stuff like that is toxic. And stuff like that can sit there and take away from your relationship. And then your significant other, who you should be talking to, is left in the dark.
I feel like if you saying to other people something that you can't say to your significant other, then why say it? Because it's like, if you can't speak to the person you with, then why are you with them?
Like, what are you doing?
Like, what's the point if you can't talk to them? Another relationship problem could be significant differences with regards to raising children.
True.
That is also a big one. Because, like, I noticed with a lot of people, not a lot, but majority, I say, of people do not last with their significant others after they have children. Because, like, children is like, it could be a person is doing more than the other. It could be a lot of factors. You want to raise your children a certain way, and the other person wants to raise the children another way. So you guys would butt heads about that. And I just feel like with that, before you guys even go into making children, I feel like you guys should sit down and talk about what do y'all see, like how you would raise your children, how you've always seen raising your children, and just get on a same page if you're planning on having children with that person anyway. I feel like you guys should get on the same page and see where both your minds are at before you even go into the having of children.
That's the thing.
That's a big step.
Yeah, so like all that, like, reckless sex and, meaningless sex and everything like that could lead up to children. And like all that meaningless sex within that time, when was you getting to know that person? Like you already jumped inside that person or jumped on that person, already let that person know you, whatever. When have you taken the time to get to know that person? So say, for example, if a child was to come out of that meaningless sex or out of that, irrational, reckless sex, y'all haven't taken the time out to get to know each other one, and y'all haven't taken the time out to talk about if a family was to happen, if we was to get a family started, would it be a family?
Another thing
and how would we raise that family?
Is also a lack of support during the pregnancy. Like for women, pregnancy is such a delicate time. Like that's very intimate because you're going through a lot of changes, the hormones, everything. You probably don't feel like you look as good as you once did, whatever the case may be.
Oh my gosh, even for men too, because it's just like, yo, son, I feel like I'm ugly. Nah, don't you not ugly? Nah, I am.
Yeah, because men
don't be as dramatic
get
that I know
some symptoms. So, like, it's just, I'd say with that, be there for the woman who's carrying your child. Like, even if you guys are not in a relationship, I feel like you guys should still be there because that's still such a sensitive time. That's still the woman who's carrying your child. This is the mother
of your child.
Like she's the vessel for your child. So I feel like you should be there as much as, no matter what the differences is. Even as parents, if you guys don't last, I feel like parents should be at least on the same page when it comes to their children. If you don't want to have a life with that person or anything more with that person, at least be on the same page for your child.
Because the children is who are going to be affected by what you're putting them through and what they're seeing, what you're allowing them to see. And you might think they're not seeing things, but we all were children once. We all remember things that we seen growing up as a child. Children see it all. I know I seen a lot growing up in life. I think I am the way I am now.
And
been through a lot.
Another could also be unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, cause that's something I want to chime in on. Cause like, how you expect something so much from somebody when you can't even do that yourself? It's like, what? Like, what type of effort you expect that person to put in when you're not even willing to put in that type of effort for yourself nor for that person? Mutual. It's a mutual exchange. A relationship is a mutual thing. Mutual, as in y'all gotta come to understandings for each other in order to benefit and progress that relationship. Anything with a ship in it, after it, means going somewhere. Relationship, friendship, partnership, companionship. All of those ships mean it's meant to go somewhere. Or else it's just a relation. Or else it's just a companion. Or else it's just a friend. Oh, you're just a friend. We don't have a friendship. You're just a friend. You're just an acquaintance. A friendship is, nah, that's my friend that we're building. We're going somewhere. That relationship is just a relation without the ship. That's just a relation that y'all have. Passive acquaintance. a relationship. This is my lady. We're building. We're going somewhere. That's a relationship. Progress.
I feel like with that being said, like unrealistic expectations, I feel like you shouldn't also be trying to transform a person into something they're not. Like y'all, like don't be out here trying to make that frog over there the prince. That happened in Disney. That don't happen in real life, baby. Like some of them frogs is frogs. You gotta let them hop. Like that's it.
Hop on, hop
The
on.
prince is gonna be walking by. The prince ain't gonna be no frog. Some of them frogs is just frogs. Let them go.
So you saying there's no ugly princes out there?
I mean,
there's some princes that probably look just like a frog.
I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the frogs who you done kissed 1,000 times and they still ain't became a prince. I'm talking about those. The bad dude who you done been with and still treating you bad all 8 years y'all been together. He is not gonna turn into no prince, honey. No.
Even if he don't look like a frog, he not turning into no prince.
And I feel like we've covered all the really big, like, relationship problems.
Those are just some of the aspects, a lot of the top aspects of what is toxic to a relationship, what will take away from a relationship, what is anti to a relationship. It's not a pro, it's a con. And these are just some advices that we want to talk on and share with y'all and keep an open mind about, because at the end of the day, it's a discussion. We keeping an open mind and we discussing things and discussing these topics.
So, if you guys have anything to say, you can always comment.
Anything.
And
talk to us.
Anyway, like, subscribe, comment,
and share.
and share.
Hollywood G and Z, you already know.